Sometimes so many bad things have happened in a row that when something new happens, you just expect, this has got to be bad too. I mean, like, just as things feel like they're getting a little better, of course maybe there'd be a teacher's strike. Or maybe World War III. Like, yeah, you just kind of jump to the worst thing because everything's just kind of been bad for a while, or maybe something really big bad has happened, and that's just the state of what you expect to happen next. And I think that's what state of mind Mary Magdalene was in today when we find her in our 5-minute devotional. The day after Jesus died. So now, this is John 20. We're going to go 1 through 10, but in a couple chunks. Now, on the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene came to the tomb while it was still dark and saw the stone already removed from the tomb. So she ran and came to Simon Peter and to the other disciple whom Jesus loved and said to them, "They have taken the Lord from the tomb, and we do not know where they have put him." So, Mary Magdalene goes to visit Jesus' tomb, which is like a thing carved out of the side of a hill or a rock or whatever. And she gets there just expecting maybe to bring some spices or maybe just to do some more being with his body and mourning for him. She gets there and the thing's open and he's not there. And she immediately jumps to, on top of everything else, they stole his body. What could happen next? And so she goes and finds a couple of disciples, Peter and the disciple whom Jesus loved, who we think is probably John, who wrote this. So verse 3, so Peter and the other disciple left and they were going to the tomb. The two of them were running together and the other disciple ran ahead, faster than Peter, and came to the tomb first. Now, this is the only gospel where this is recorded that they had a race and Peter lost. I think that's kind of funny if the guy who won was the one who wrote the gospel. Just saying. So, and they stooped in and saw the linen wrapping lying there. However, he did not go in, the other disciple. So Simon Peter also came following him. He entered the tomb and looked at the linen wrapping lying there, and the face cloth which had been on his head, not lying with the linen wrapping, but folded up in a place by itself. So the other disciple who had come first to the tomb also entered then and saw and believed. But they did not, for they did not yet understand the scripture, that he must rise from the dead. So the disciples went away to their own homes. So we end, and they don't really understand what's going on. John maybe believes something, but it's still really not clear to them what happened. And we know that it's like the best thing ever that happened, like the best thing in history. But they don't yet. And we have smaller examples of this kind of thing in life, maybe a lot, and depending on what kind of thinking and feeling you do, maybe more, some more than others. But I really like to think about Mary Magdalene and how what she thought was just another bad thing happening in a series of bad things ended up being the best thing ever, and she just didn't know what she was looking at, and she didn't know what God was going to do. And I've had it happen in my life where I just get in that pattern of expecting, what next? What bad thing next? And God's not bound to just do whatever crummy thing my mind thinks up could be the next bad thing, or yours, or situation in the world, or in life. God's going to do what God's going to do. And he might do wonderful things that don't fit at all with the pattern that we get into of expecting things that aren't good. So that's the thought I want to leave you with for today.